Hi everyone, it's Cliff here for YC Test Drive. Thank you so much for those that are following YC Test Drive YouTube channel. I appreciate it. Today, what do we have here? We have the 2021 VW Transporter, aka the T6.1. This, ladies and gentlemen, looks like an ordinary car, but this, don't be deceived. Because this is not an ordinary car, it's an extraordinary car, and I'll show you why. It has a 2-liter turbo diesel injection engine with 4-cylinder inline. That's 142 kilowatts and 450 Newton meter of torque. The chrome trim on the lights and the 4-motion badge makes this black grille looks really aggressive. The palladium titanium black lower bumper and the fog lights really suit well with the white color. It comes with a 17-inch alloy rim with a built-in tire pressure sensor. The black touches match the white color. The space between the two front seats is more than wide enough. These 3 back seats are wide enough to take 3 grown men. They are all independent seats. You can remove them one at a time. With this nice headrest, the dashboard looks sleek and neat. It looks like it was designed by a minimalist. Everything seems to be in right places. All functions are reachable by a driver. Lots of specs that this car comes with. It will easily take 8 people and still have enough luggage space. The sliding doors on both sides makes it easier to access the back seat on both sides. The ground clearance still really good. This T6 deserves the name Cliff. The shape of it looks good than most vans I've ever seen, and the tail light looks like this. Massive tail light with your reverse lights and your fog light inside as well, built in, and the reflectors down here at the bottom. This 4-motion badge right here at the back, like right in your face. You also have the parking sensors here at the back. You also have that camera right there at the back. Let me show you the interior of this car. So right in here, it almost looks like the previous T6. It has soft lock buttons here, unlock and lock button. Your mirrors here, you can also heat up your mirrors by twisting it all the way to the end here. It's just in case it's raining. I like this soft child lock button. If you activate it, you immediately activated the child lock for the kids at the back. Traction control right here, rear differential lock right at the back. Your lights, of course, here you can keep them on auto. If you pull them out, you of course switch on your fog lights both in front and at the back. You can adjust your level of your lights here. The air vent, how they really changed them. The way how the leather wrapped steering wheel looks like. It doesn't feel so big. It's really quite tight and good. It has lots of mount functions right here. Lots is happening right here. It's quite different from the previous model. The volume was absolutely different here, and all the mount function buttons on the steering wheel are very different from the previous model, such as the cruise control on this side. On the previous model, it was on the indicator. On this time, it's right here on the steering wheel. Sometimes it looks like it's too much of the functions on the steering wheel, but it's still quite useful. It feels small. It feels like for a Golf, and I like the way how flat it is here, right at the bottom here. If you look at the display here, right on the display, lots of things that comes on here. Connecting, of course, to Bluetooth. Everything looks clean here. And you can also go through the function. The infotainment system, I like the LCD screen. It does not have a lot of buttons really compared to the previous model. You have radio there, you have media here, you have the menu, you have the phone there, and you have the app. If you connect the car to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and you also have your voice control here. The same functions that you have here is actually the same that you have on the steering wheel. For example, if you press menu, you have all these functions then that are just displayed: the radio, telephone, vehicle, the settings, the media, and the Apple, the app connection and the sound system. All right, this is exactly the same. The vehicle menu, you then can go through the vehicle status, you can check through the tire pressure. And then apart from that, of course, you have the data here, which will show you the consumption for long distance and all that. And since refueling, how much of fuel do we have and all that. Then you have all these settings that you can scroll. The radio is really quite responsive. I like that. If you come here at the bottom here, very easy and clean. You only have the 2-3 buttons here. Warming your screen at the back, you have your AC here, and you have the recirculation of air inside. We only have these 3 knobs with these chrome touches right here, the knobs. Your reverse there with your reverse camera, which you can then change the colors depending on how you want it. You can put it in neutral, very easy. You have your reverse parking sensors there, which you can deactivate if you do not want them to make noise. You can also change the gears by shifting either down or by shifting up. You have a DSG gearbox. There's the direct shift gearbox, which is really good. You have your hazards right there, your parking sensors, you can deactivate them or activate them. You also have the auto stop start, which you can deactivate by pressing it. It's something that really I do not enjoy, because every time you stop, the car switches itself off and switches itself on every time you remove your foot from the brakes. But normally I deactivate it by pressing it. Here, the newer radios nowadays, you have the USB-C connection for your cell phones, which is something that really I do not enjoy that much, because most of our phones nowadays, they still have the USB connection. But you will then get the USB-C adapter, and you have your cup holder here. It's different again from the previous model, that the fact that these air vents, the driver side as well is on that side, which is good. You can still adjust it this way or that way. In the previous model, it was here and it was round, which you would adjust from here. This carbon fiber like trim right here, and the dashboard really looks quite clean, not much of things on it. You have a couple of storages. You have one here. You also have storage right here on top, which is really plenty. You also have your storage bins right there in the door panels, which is really good. I like that. The seats, we have the seat covers at the moment, but this one comes with the leather seats, which I'll show you at the back on the middle seat, how the leather seat cover looks like. I like the fact that you have this dark gray and light gray here on the dashboard. It really makes it look quite good. You have this rubber mat here. It doesn't get that dirty. It's very easy to clean it when you have that. Let me show you how it looks like at the back. The leather seats also comes with that gray, light gray on top and dark gray at the bottom. You have these isofix on each and every seat here on the seat on the middle. Look at how much of space I have for my seat. Very comfortable, really. You can stretch your legs as much as you want. Space for someone sitting in the middle here, you can stretch your legs all the way that way. You have the air vent. You can open this door all the way. Even on the other side, you can open both doors. The fact that you can push this seat this way, not much of a hassle really. You can go easily at the back as well. One thing is that we have these canvas seats. These are old seats from the old Transporter, and we tried to see if they will fit on the new one. So surprising enough, they fit. I just removed the ones from here so that you see how the leather seats are. Right here at the back also, you have plenty of space, plenty of room really. You can remove all these seats and leave this as just a hole in here. If you pull from here, you can also fold the seats just like that. Easy peasy really. If you want to fold the seats, all the seats, you can fold them exactly like I just did now. And then if you pull it that way, you can then pull it back, and it's really quite easy. The loading space here at the back, this is a long wheelbase, by the way. The T6 comes with different shapes, different forms, different sizes. This is the long wheelbase, so it has plenty of space compared to the short wheelbase. Of course, you have the pickup, which has a double cab or a single cab as well, but this is a long wheelbase. Also, all these anchors that you can tie things, let's say if you put things inside here. Okay, driving the Transporter. Let's see how it drives. Of course, okay, the armrest, this is very handy for me. When it comes to the armrest, I like the fact that you have this armrest which you can adjust in terms of height, of course. So whenever I'm sitting in this car, it always really feels like I'm sitting in my living room. When it's empty like this, it's quite empty now. You can feel the noise, of course, from outside, because it's like we're sitting in a big hall, open hall, really. But apart from that, the car itself just quite smooth. We've put in the newer tire, more off-road tire, all-terrain tire, because it only had highway terrain when we bought this car. So the off-road terrain is much noisier. Of course, they are not as noisy as the mud terrain, but they are quite noisy. The feel of this car, it doesn't feel like you are driving a big car. It feels like you are driving a sedan or a pickup. You know, it's just very different. It's very soft, the steering wheel. So when you look at it, you might think that it's a big car and it's going to be very difficult to... This is one of the easiest cars I've ever driven. With an auto transmission, it makes life easier. And I can go on talking about this car for the whole day. One of the things compared to the previous model on this one is the fact that the parking sensors in front will activate automatically as soon as you close to an object. For example, let me just make an example. Moving close to these barriers, just look at that. As soon as I move close to this grass here, the sensors immediately comes on, they activate themselves, which is good. Immediately the car will detect that you are close to an object and the sensors gets activated. I like that about this car really. And the other thing that I like about this car compared to the previous model is the fact that it's leather seats. Of course, these leather seats that are in here are not the strongest leather seats that you will find in car. They are very soft. That's why we are protecting them with the seat covers. I like this digital speed. Let me just show you quickly. Let's quickly go through the settings. It's very easy to go through the settings as you drive. So there you can change that, the range. You can easily, again, it shows you the current, the actual consumption that the car is doing right at that specific moment. Of course, the temperature, the warning, and now I'm doing 68 kilometers an hour. This car is so quick, it's so fast that even an Amarok will come close to this car. It has 146 kilowatts, that's 450 Newton meter of torque. The Amarok, mostly Amaroks that I've been driving, is 132 kilowatts, so very different. So I like that about this car really. I find it quite easy to drive. This is why, and I always feel safe. Makes you feel like you are really quite on top of the world. And then the armrest, of course, just relaxing. The radio is so responsive. I like that. And the Apple CarPlay, of course, it's not connected. The media, the menu and all that. So it's really quite easy, very easy to use as you are driving. I like the fact that it has this feature where it will tell you after driving for some time without resting, it will start warning you that you need time for coffee, you need the coffee break, which is really quite typical VW. And then the fuel consumption on this car is very good for a van, big van like this one. Of course, it has a 80-liter tank, and the fact that you can make calls just by voice control. You can text by voice control. You can. It's a 4-motion, so it can go almost everywhere. You can lift it up if you want to make it even higher. If you want to have a good ground clearance. Unfortunately, it does not have speakers at the back. It's only the front seats. So a few things that are different from this model to the previous car. Of course, the display here is slightly different. The indicators are more slightly different from the previous model. Of course, you look at the steering wheel function, also different. And the fact that this start to start button, I would have preferred to be this side where the keys are, because it's very easy for you to press it here. Anyway, even there, my arm can reach there without any problem. And I still like the fact that you can control the aircon here. I like the fact that you can, just by pressing that button, you already have the keys locked on the other side. You want to do a logo, you want to do video editing as well, you want to learn video editing and so forth. Just check out Incomplex Edit. I will put the link in the description below, and also check out Nature Wheels for the best car rental agreement, or for the best car rental. Thank you so much for following YC Test Drive. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I'll see you in my next video. Alright, bye bye.